Hey y'all, it's Ben with Whitetail Hollow Farms. That's a whole lot of stuff. So we're out at the Mason auction today in Campbellton, Florida, just north of Marianna, Florida, to look at a few items that they've got for sale this weekend. So it is a Thursday today, and today should have been the last day of consignment for this auction, so there shouldn't be anything showing up after today. Auction's on Saturday, and I'm gonna be bidding from home. We've been looking online at some of the things they've got for sale out here, and we picked a few things that figured we ought to take a look at before we go bidding on them online. Big things that I'm looking at are a grain drill and maybe a new baler. There's some random stuff like troughs and stainless steel tables and other stuff that Mom might be interested in that I'm gonna take a look at as well. Here's a little gravity wagon for sale. We would like to get a gravity wagon, not for the purpose of moving grain, but for this purpose. Right here on the screen, we would love to turn one of these old gravity wagons into a fun little basketball game. Doesn't even need to be in good shape. Honestly, wouldn't mind it having rust. We'll clean it up ourselves. This one doesn't appear to be in too bad a shape. Got some small rust holes starting up, but nothing that some paint can't fix. They've got over 1,000 items this time at the auction, so it's a pretty big one. It goes on for rows and rows and rows here of just tractors, implement, trucks, balers, anything you could ever imagine. They probably got it out here for sale. We'll stop and take a look at those two balers right there. So it looks like both of these have got monitors. I'm preferably looking to upgrade to something with Netwrap. Looks like this one has seen some better days. Something going on with the belts here, or that belt has slipped, or who knows, something doesn't look quite right with this one. Also trying to stay away from projects this time, so the combination of Netwrap and no project means quite a bit of money, so we may or may not end up with something. It doesn't look to be in awful shape, but it could probably use a little bit of a tune-up, I would imagine. No Netwrap on either of these, but they do have monitors on them, so that's a good thing. Not quite what I'm looking for. It is a silage baler, but we don't plan on doing any silage, so probably skip on these two. Keep moving. Well, that's pretty cool. It's obviously seen a restoration at one point or another. Probably 5 or 10-year-old restoration, and it's spent a little bit of time outside since then, but John Deere Model A. It'd be pretty neat to have something like this to haul the wagon around. Got a little lizard hanging out up here. What's up, buddy? Wouldn't even know where to begin running a tractor like this. Never run something this old. But be pretty neat to haul the wagon around with. That's for sure. A set of wagon gear, and well, I'd say that tire's about done for. Wouldn't mind. This might make good for the basketball game idea we want to do. It's a New Holland wagon, so that's pretty neat. Get parts for it easy if it needs new parts at any point in time. Be kind of cool to have a New Holland wagon and a John Deere wagon. I'll tell you what, these wagons are super fun and easy to restore, and there's just so many different things that you can do with them once you've created your final purpose for it, whether it be a gravity wagon or just a regular flatbed hay wagon. You can haul around so much stuff on those flatbed hay wagons, and they're easy to move. Now, these tide drills are pretty nice. This is the same type that our county extension rents, but I'm not even gonna bother getting out and looking at it. A, because it doesn't look like it's in the best of shape, and B, because somebody's already bid $2 grand on it, which is about all I'm willing to spend on one. And well, I don't really want to spend more than $2 grand on one that's in the condition that that one's in. Well, this is basically what I'm looking for in a baler. This is a John Deere 535. Makes a pretty big bale. Got Netwrap on it. It's in pretty good shape for its age. This is a 1990s model baler, so going on 30 years old, and it's still pretty shiny. The pickup has seen better days. It's a little bit rusty down there, but two problems with this baler. The biggest one is it does not have a monitor included with it, and I don't know how to use it. If I was to buy a baler like that It's going to cost a lot of money, I think. Even its age, I think it's going to go for quite a bit. And B, I would want to take it to the dealership and have them take a look at it before I ever ran the thing. And that's where you take your risk in these auctions, is if you spend a lot of money on something that you think is good and it's got every bearing in the world bad with it, then you're looking at a lot of money to get them replaced and taken care of. So I'll keep my eye on that thing. It looks really nice. It'd be nice to have. It does have pretty much everything I want, minus needing a monitor for it. I looked up the monitors and they're $1,200, $1,400 for just the monitor alone. With how much I paid for my current baler that's sitting at home right now, I could have bought 4 or 5 for the price of a monitor. Got lots of old beat up bush hogs that have gotten spray paint jobs. It's a big thing that people do out here. Ooh, need to look at that over there. Is they'll take old equipment, spray paint it up, and haul it on out here. I know Dad's gonna be interested in this little Yanmar, not that we want it or need it or have any use for it, but he likes these little Yanmar tractors, but that's what I'm more interested in. Obviously a set of John Deere running gear, and this is a heavy duty set. Don't know what model it is. I guess I need to start searching the frame here for what model this thing is. Obviously needs a full resto job, and we'll need new brackets because these ones are shot. But I know where to get the brackets and how much they cost now. Let's see, 1075, W1075. Ours is a 1065, so this is a step up. And does it have a bend in it anywhere? Nope, looks straight as an arrow to me. So this one's on the list. See if we can pick this sucker up. So I forgot to record when I went around and looked at the grain drill that I'm interested in. I'll throw some pictures up right here of it. But the thing is shot further than I want to spend on it, I should say. The rust has gotten to it, and as cool of a drill as it is, and as much as I would like to have one, that one is not the one I want to have. Its rusting issues are beyond my capabilities. I cannot fix some of the problems that are going on with that thing, and I can't imagine just how much work it is to tear apart a grain drill and restore it. So just not something that I have the time to do right now. So unfortunately, probably gonna pass on the grain drill. And here we are, almost to the end here. Trying to stay away from looking at the junk this time. So I skipped a lot of stuff that I saw, including this baler that we're probably gonna skip, that looks to have maybe had a fire in it at one point. Up in the top left corner, all the paint is torn away there, and that doesn't appear to be from normal wear and tear. That looks like that baler encountered a fire at one point in its life, and it's no Netwrap. So trying to upgrade to Netwrap, as much of out of my budget as that is. That's a pretty good looking grain drill, but it does not appear to be a no-till drill. So again, skipping that one. The nice little New Holland 730 baler over there, which would be more adequate to our size operation and how much hay that we do. But I'm gonna go look at it real quick, but I don't need it because it don't have Netwrap. This thing doesn't look bad. It is small. It's very small compared to all the other round balers here. And we found that we're actually doing better on bigger bales. Gonna need belts soon, so already there's some work that's gonna need to be done to it. These will last a little while longer, but that's a project that would be coming up with it. I don't know, otherwise it looks to be in pretty good shape. Well, maybe we'll keep our eye on this one. Just trying to stay away from anything with twine. Comes with controls for it. Oh, and a full set of twine. Huh. Well, maybe we'll keep our eye on this one. Don't know how this door closes. There we go. Huh. Yeah, it's got all the wiring and everything for whatever type of control / monitor comes with it. We'll keep our eye on this one. Like I said, really trying to get away from twine because it is such a big pain. But this is about the size baler we need. So I really don't need a whole lot more rusty implements sitting around, but this one is one that I'm kind of interested in. This is supposed to be a spike tooth harrow. Now, when our traditional disc harrow, like that one sitting over there, goes over the ground, it rips everything up, creates ruts, doesn't leave a very nice smooth surface. Supposedly, these spike tooth harrows are supposed to come in afterwards and leave a pretty nice surface behind. Pretty smooth, relatively smooth, I should say. So maybe I'll throw 100 or 200 bucks at this thing if nobody else wants to. It's made by Birch Plow Works. I think it's a 6-footer, and maybe we'll see if this thing will leave us a little bit better surface behind. Well, I'm talking about baby manure spreader. Holy cow. This is a little tiny. Well, we're on the road in the truck. So that only means one thing. Bought something at the auction. I am beyond nervous right now. I've got a lot of anxiety over this purchase because it was a lot of money. And I don't get emotional over auction stuff usually. But this one, I had to have it. It was just one of those things, and Mom was sitting there watching it. And we did our research on it, and we still think we got a pretty good deal on the thing. So you'll see what it is here in a minute when we get it hitched up behind the truck. I'm almost to the auction site now, so I'm gonna go in, get them paid, hook it up, and then we'll take a look at it. Man, feels a little bit heavy behind the truck now. What the heck is that thing in the mirror back there? How'd that get back there? Well, that's our new John Deere 535 Netwrap baler. We're gonna get this thing home. I'm gonna drive real nice, slow, and safe. Not always fun transporting a piece of equipment like this on highways where people want to do 75 mile an hour. So we're just gonna take our time and get home safe, and we'll talk to you about it when we get there. All right, y'all, we're home with it. Our new John Deere 535 round baler. So we bought this baler out at the Mason auction in Campbellton, Florida this weekend. Dragged it home just now. Had a nice smooth ride home with it. I don't know a whole lot about this baler other than some specifics on it. So this is a 535. The 535s are 5-foot wide balers, so like a 435 would be a 4-foot wide baler. This 535 will do up to a 6-foot tall bale, I believe, and as little as like a 3 or 4 footer. So it will make a much larger bale than our little Vicon that's sitting right here next to it. It kind of dwarfs it in size, especially in height, I would say. This baler looks like it's been really well kept for its age. I have not looked up the serial number on it yet to find out exactly how old it is. The one thing that I do know about it is that the original 535s, the one thing I do know about it is the first generation of 535s had a yellow pickup like this one does down here. So I'm assuming this is a first generation 535, and from what I've read, they're very solid balers compared to the later generations of the 535. So I'm assuming this is an early 1990s baler, maybe even a little bit older than that. And for its age, I am just shocked at how well it seems to have been taken care of. For those of you who don't know a whole lot about hay equipment, don't watch these auctions, you probably are looking at this thing and going, well, that looks like a piece of junk. No, This is your regular wear and tear, this rust on the front here. This is from all your chaff and everything else that gets rubbed up against the front of the baler, flakes off some paint, and then it turns into surface rust. But I can tell you that it looks like it's a very well taken care of baler, because if you go over to the side doors over here, it's still shiny. You can kind of see my reflection there in it. So for a 30-year-old baler to still see a shine, a gleam of any nature on it is very shocking to me. It's got all sorts of scratches on it, but we'll try and buff some of those out. We're going to take really good care of this baler and try to preserve it for as long as we can. But shiny paint doesn't mean anything if the mechanics are bad on it. I've looked this baler over. Everything seems to be pretty well intact and well taken care of. If I had to guess, it was probably barn kept and serviced after every use, and preventative maintenance was done for the most part. The main reason we bought this 535 is for this box on the back that some of you may not know about or what it may be. This is a Netwrap box. So this baler will do Netwrap, unlike our Wagon RP1210 over there, which only does twine. So much larger bales on this machine, and it'll do them in Netwrap. So win-win for our operation. I want to say that this is an aftermarket net setup, probably done by the dealer, but you can tell that the paint on the machine itself and the Netwrap box is totally different from one another in shade of green. I don't know if maybe that's just the way it's faded over time, and honestly it hasn't faded that much because again I can see my reflection in it, and that just shocks me because I've never owned a machine besides a vehicle, a truck, that I could actually see my own reflection in. So it's really nice to have something that I know looks good and I can take care of for many years to come, compared to our old Wagon over here, which is virtually rusting away, logo falling apart, hydraulic leaks everywhere, aftermarket gauges that are garbage. You get it. That thing's, it's seen its glory days by now. We will probably keep that baler around. It's got a bad bearing on it right now, so I got to get that fixed, and it'll become my spare baler. So if I ever do have a problem with this thing, fingers crossed I never do, you can use the Wagon in an emergency situation. Until I find out how trustworthy this 535 is, we won't be selling the Wagon over there. What are you doing in the middle of my video? He's over there hands-free. I guess he's feeding animals. But back to our baler here. I mean, I know I'm jumping kind of back and forth here on this thing because I still don't know a ton about it myself. As you can plainly see there is no monitor for this machine. Already been in contact with a couple of different people. I'm gonna get one ordered. You don't have to have a monitor to run this baler, but they're very convenient to have from what I understand. And that's another reason I wanted to get away from the Wagon, is the Wagon, say my bale gate on the back doesn't latch properly and I don't know about it and I start rolling a bale in there, I'm screwed. I just got to find out afterwards and deal with the consequences of a gate being left opened or not latching properly or whatever may happen. With this machine, it's got fancy electronic sensors on it that will beep and let me know when my gate isn't shut. But back to opening this thing up. All the belts seem to be in good shape. It does need, in my opinion, probably a new oil filter here. This is something to do with the hydraulic tensioner on it, I believe. So this is like a $15 filter from John Deere. We'll go grab a new one this week, replace that, put some new oil in the box, and we'll be good to go there. We're obviously gonna hit all the grease points, take care of all that stuff. I honestly do think this was somebody's spare because it is so well taken care of, and it doesn't look like it's seen a lot of use in the past few years. And I say that only because of how rusted up all the chains and everything are on it. If you're gonna have a baler sitting out for that long, your chains are gonna rust up. I have not had it hooked up or heard it run yet, so we're crossing our fingers that there's no bearings or messed up anything. It's just ready to hit the field. But in our next video, when we tear into this thing, y'all will find out with me if there's anything wrong with it. But of course, like I said, we're gonna service it first and get it ready to be run. So Dad and I figured out finally how to open up this Netwrap box. It took us a few minutes to figure out exactly how this system works here, because there is not a manual readily available about this system online. So those of you who are considering buying one of these or watching this video because you're thinking of buying one, which we appreciate you watching, this is how you do it. So I don't know what any of this stuff is called, unfortunately. I don't know what to tell you as far as terminology, but I know that you take this handle here, you take this little brake, I believe. Might be a two-handed job, yeah. So you press down here a little bit, you kind of flip this out of the way. Sorry, need two hands here. There we go. So you flip that out of the way, flip it up, and then there you go. Your latch opens. Don't let it hit you because it is spring activated. Really should be doing this with two hands. As a matter of fact, I'm going to sit you down on that tire. Hopefully you can see me here and what we're doing. There we go. Trying to break that loose. Boom. So that's how that's done. Now I'll warn you, there is something in this Netwrap box that I did not see at the auction because I didn't know how to open it. So let's open this sucker up. And there is a nice, oops, the door was still open over there. There is a nice little, don't let the thing fall on you, it's heavy. There is a nice rat's nest inside of here. So at least it came with some net, but it's obviously going to need to be thoroughly cleaned out before we are able to use this. So, and I mean, it's pretty nasty, dusty, dirty in there. So in our little servicing video, we'll clean this rat's nest out of here and try to salvage whatever we can of the Netwrap, because a roll of Netwrap like this is about $250, I believe. So we don't want to be throwing that out. Looks like there's actually a lot of net on there still. Watch some videos on how to actually use this mechanism. If anybody's got tips for me, I'd love to hear them too. Any reason why this belt might be loose, that would be nice to know about. It's a little bit very loose. Not really sure what the deal is with that. All right, so there's the Netwrap system and all put back together. So get the rat's nest out of there in the servicing video. Popping down under, it looks like most, if not all, of the baler teeth are actually there. So that's a good thing. Looks like we're missing one there and two right there maybe. So we'll keep our eye on maybe changing those out here sooner rather than later. Belts look pretty good. This one maybe has seen better days right here. Got some wear going on, but I mean, this one's brand new looking. That one's brand new looking. PTO all seems to be in good shape. So yeah, it's a lot to take in. Whole new machine. Much larger machine, whole new set of challenges and things to learn. So be sure that you're subscribed to us to stick along. Be sure that you're subscribed to the channel to follow our journey and see how we do with this thing. We post all sorts of content on here: livestock, emus, cattle, goats, chickens, all of it. We've got all sorts of livestock and all sorts of other informational videos, as well as kind of vlogs like this one. So if you got anything to say, leave it down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. You got any tips about this baler that you think I should know about, drop them down below. Always love to learn stuff like that. And hopefully, if you're looking into buying one of these balers, or just looking at them, wanting to know what they look like around, hopefully you learned what you wanted to from this video. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you in the next one.